Hi, my name is John Trimble, and I am doing the video presentation on my research paper written on the topic of Black Lives Matter, Civil Rights Movement versus Retaliated Criminal Behavior. Back in 2012, there was an event that sparked a chain of events that caused the creation of Black Lives Matter. This specific event was there was a neighborhood watchman named George Zimmerman who shot and killed a young man that he, for whatever reason, believed was dangerous and causing trouble in the neighborhood. George Zimmerman was licensed to carry a concealed gun, however, he was not a police officer, and so there was a big uproar of the African American community about this matter. That, along with other instances such as the killing of Eric Gardner, who was choked out by a policeman, which led to cardiac arrest in 2014, and then another killing of the gentleman named Mike Brown in 2014, which sparked the Ferguson events. Now, in Ferguson, this is where my argument starts to play out. There were some instances before that, but this was very big in the fact that their Black Lives Matter movement started in protest form and then lashed out into a series of burnings, lootings, destruction of public property, and so on and so forth. So my research paper was written to kind of explain my view that I believe that the Black Lives Matter title should be changed to something different because of all the negative activity that has stemmed from it. There's nothing wrong with civil rights movements by any means, protests and demonstrations like that. However, where do we draw the line? There was actually law enforcement, and the United States military needed to finally get the Ferguson event under control. And like I stated before, destruction of public property, burnings of civilian businesses and civilian homes, even some of African American homes of people non-affiliated happened. And so where do we draw the line between demonstrating civil rights movements and not crossing the line? So that being said, let's look a little bit. The 1960s and now, as far as protesting goes, is not that much different, besides the fact that in the 1960s it was illegal to protest. So Martin Luther King made a statement back in the 60s that since we know that the system will not change the rules, we are going to have to change the system, and that is very good. That's a very good guideline. I'm sure what motivates a lot of protests is that we have to change what's happening here. We have to change the mindset of people to get them to see the light and see the equality of African Americans with